At the age of 32, you got nailed, had a terrible death. You call that a successful life? No. But we bow down to him because it seems, we don't know, but we believe, or people have believed always, that even when he was nailed, he said, they know not what they're doing. Forgive them.
Forgive them, for they know not what they do.
For that we bow down to him, not because he got nailed. Because getting nailed is not a successful life, isn't it? But even if you nail him, he did not lose his quality. For that we bow down. So that's all that matters to us, whether they existed or not. That they are an inspiration for you, whether everything that's said about them is true or not. Even this is not your problem. You're not a historian, all right? You just need some icon to move towards a better way of existing for yourself, that's all. What does it matter? Krishna did not exist, Jesus did not exist, what does it matter to you?
Where did evil, justice, love and forgiveness converge at a moment in history? I said, can I take you to a hill called Calvary and show you the person of Jesus Christ, who shows you the evil in your heart and mine, who was just and the justifier, who loved us so greatly to give himself for us, and who said, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they are doing. The person of Jesus Christ. You know what? When I finished that talk, as the ambassadors lined up, one of the ambassadors came to me and he said, Mr. Zacharias, I come from an atheistic country. I don't want to be here. My president commanded that I come here. And every day I wake up and I wonder, what am I doing here? Why am I here? He said, today I have found my answer. I came here to find God and to find Jesus Christ in my life. One more simple illustration. Years ago, I had the privilege of being at a gathering in Ramallah, Jerusalem, talking to one of the 4 founders of Hamas. I was taken by some friends, and he was agitated. He'd served years in prison, solidly built guy. He'd lost several of his children. And at the end of it, the leader of our group asked if each one of us 5 had a question for him. Because it was a private meeting, I won't tell you what my question was, and nor will I tell you his answer. But when he finished answering, I looked at him and I said, Sheikh, I don't like your answer. I really don't like your answer. I said, but let me tell you something, and you and I may never see each other again. Not far from where you and I are sitting is a hill. 3,000 years ago, a man by the name of Abraham took his son up that hill. Please, let's not debate right now which son it was. And he just looked at me. I said, we know he took his son up that hill to offer him as a sacrifice of his faith in God. And just as the axe is about to come down, God says, stop, stop. I myself will provide. I said, do you remember that story? He said, yes. I said, we are sitting very close to another hill. 2,000 years ago, God took his own son up there and provided what he promised he would. Sheikh, my comment to you is this: until you and I receive the son that God has provided, we will be offering our own sons and daughters on the battlefields of this world for position, for power, and for land, and for prestige. As I look at what Jesus did for you and for me, he took bread, and when he broke it, go back for a moment. Existentialist for the moment, traditionalist for the past, utopianist for the future. He took bread and broke it, said, as often as you eat of this bread and drink of this cup, now you proclaim the Lord's death in the past until he come in the future. He gave meaning to all of time. You see, time is the canvas on which you present your portrait. Eternity is the keyhole that takes you into the gallery that gives you the whole story. You may just think it's your story right now. One day you will look through the keyhole of eternity and see his entire plan, just as the men on Emmaus Road had all of history opened up to them. And when were their eyes opened? When he broke that bread. And suddenly, all of history was opened up to them. Young people, don't forget the past. Don't just live for the moment. Make sure you engage the future. All of history is fused with his meaning, because history is ultimately his story. It's his story.